Okay, so it's high time. So hello and welcome. I hope you are all comfortable and ready. And my name is Michal Demečko, and I'm delighted to be your host today at this session. And it's my honor to introduce my friend Peter Šveda from Lean Institute Slovakia and Czechia. Peter Šveda is from company Vitesco Technology. So without further ado, Peter, screen is all yours.
Okay, thank you. I will start sharing. Okay. I named this talk How to Touch a North Star. It's about bridging strategy and execution. Little bit about agenda, what you can expect from me. I will introduce myself on one slide. I will introduce our company, so you will better understand why we are doing our strategy and our actions regarding to strategy our way, and maybe you will find also some benefits for you out of that. And at the end, I'm sure there will be some minutes for a Q&A station. So how to touch a North Star? When I was young, my dad used to take me outside when the night was dark and there were stars on the sky. And he taught me how to find a North Star. To knowing direction, which can also stars show you, it's really important because sometimes can save your life. In ancient time, people used stars to give them the direction. And it was especially very important on sea, because on sea, during the night, you have no fixed point you can focus on. And there are also some winds, some currents, and it can move or drift the boat away from the direction. So ancient sailors regularly check their direction just to looking to the North Star. The sailing has a lot of parallel with the strategies, and the North Stars became as a mark for direction. And can we touch the North Star? Of course not. If you came just to know, learn how to touch a North Star, I'm very sorry, I won't tell you. But if you have a vision, your North Star, and you are close enough to touch it, it would be a mistake if you would not set up another one, because then could happen that you lose your direction. It will be so close to you. So North Star is like vision, but even you can't touch the North Star or vision, you still can achieve your goals. And goals, that's steps how to approach a North Star, how to approach your vision. But make a plan without doing, that's bad. The same as doing something without plans, without planning. And it's the same with the strategy and actions. If you have just this one part, that's not enough. You have to have both strategy and actions, planning and doing to be success. And in this few minutes, I would like to tell you and show you how we are in Vitesco Technologies, how we are bridging these two things, bridging the strategy and the actions, vision, and let's say real life, what we are doing in our plant. Some few words about me, who I am. So I'm working as a lean manager in Vitesco Technologies in Czech Republic, and I have experiences from production, from the operator to production manager, as well. I was responsible for project management and industrial engineering group, but now I'm working for Lean, and I like it, I have to say. My favorite questions, which is really connected to Lean, is why. I want to understand how works things around me. Few words about Vitesco Technologies, about my company, so you better understand how we do the strategy for ourselves, for our plant. We are quite a big company, more than 38,000 employees around the world, more than 9 billion sales in last year. And we are focusing on electromobility, electronics, mechatronics. We have a lot of experiences with automotive portfolios. And we want to achieve the cleaner, better mobility. We have more than 40 sites around the world. I'm from Czech Republic, somewhere here, hidden. But actually, I'm located for a few weeks in Seguin, in Texas, in US, to sharing some experiences and support colleagues and friends here in the local Vitesco Technologies plant. About Czech Republic, we have 4 sites there, and 3 are on the east of Republic, and Trutnov is on the north. Slightly about our plant, established 1999 when we started to produce for automotive. That time it wasn't Vitesco Technologies, but at this moment we have more than 2,200 people, and our production is now 90% for internal combustion engines, but we are forcing and we are eager to achieve 20% in 2025, and even then more spread our activities in electric vehicles. And we are a member of Lean Institute, Slovakia and Czechia. It was very nice last year on Lean Summit Czechoslovakia that in category people we won the gold medal for the project about TPM Academy. And it was a great opportunity to meet with the people who really like and are enthusiastic with the Lean principles. And let's go to those 4 steps. I split our strategy making and action to 4 steps. It's like a PDCA cycle, very similar. First, it's plan or creation the strategy. So what does it mean for us in Vitesco? Through whole presentation, we will touch repeatedly this screen. And the background is from our yearly strategic workshop. In our plant, every beginning of the year, we are doing strategy workshop with first line management. And we are discussing about what happened last year, where we failed, when we were success, and what challenges are in front of us in next year, current year. As you can see on the pictures, we are doing it physically, in person. You don't see notebooks on the desk. That's something what we are doing to get people, get to the attendances, to the life, to be active, to think about things, to not be disturbed by any notebooks or emails coming. And even some materials what we have, we print out and put to the desk. There are available for all participants for during all meeting or workshop, and anytime they can come there, look. There are information about people, cost, delivery, and quality. For very important parts, review the last year, and also there is our direction 2030, and that's it. Our first input to making our strategy. Direction 2030 in next year, beginning next year, we will have direction 2035. That's a company strategy. So every plant is connected or merged with one strategy, which was done centrally. So that's something maybe limited us, but something what can also help us, that in the whole company, we have just one direction, one North Star. And our vision is electrified emotion everywhere, with the mission power and clean mobility. And because it's to general, we have split it to 5 focus areas. You can see in a green section. To be leader in electrified solution, so something about the electrified business, what we achieve and want to achieve. Business excellence, very important that customer has to be satisfied with us and also to be cost efficient. And then investor choice, profitability and share price performance on the stock. And great people, great company, because people are still number one. And we see it also in these times, to have satisfied and motivated people, also to be known as a brand. Just a little comment about Vitesco Technologies. So it's not very known that the Vitesco Technologies was former Continental powertrain division. So we are former Continental. Continental decided to carve out, to take and create new company from powertrain division and call it Vitesco Technologies. So we are now standalone company. And very important for these days, driver of sustainability. Look to nature, life cycle engineering, carbon footprint. So this all, that's company strategy. And countries like plants, divisions, and group functions are trying to support this company strategy with their own strategic project and own strategy. So something we have done. That's the first and really major impact for creating our strategy. The second one is SWOT analysis. I'm sure you all know what is SWOT. 2 parts of SWOT, strengths and weaknesses. That are internal measures, so what we can affect a lot. And there are 2 more on the bottom. There are opportunities and threats. That's the external, because we are not alone in the world. We have some environment around us. So we have to take into account also what is around and how we can do. The SWOT is perfect tool for the strategy, but don't use it just as the status quo, just to write or describe where you are. It's perfect for that, but use the opportunity also to make some strategy out of the SWOT. We use the strategy max called. So by maximizing our strength, we are trying to maximize our opportunities. You can use different max, min, depends what your company is set up, how it's set up, and what do you need to achieve. So just general take out from this slide, do the SWOT, it's really important, but take some points out of the SWOT to the future, not just rewrite the status quo. And when we combine all these things, we put this information to Hoshin Kanri metrics. That's the metrics. So just briefly discuss what is it with 4 quadrants going this way, like the arrows show. And the bottom one is long-term objectives. It's our strategy 2030, direction 2030, what we want to achieve in 10 years. It was easy for us to put it there because it's done by company. And on the left side, it's yellow, green, light green color. It's objectives for short time, 1 to 2 years. And you still have to have a link between that. And that's the part below this X or points. You can mark how your short-term objectives are linked to long-term objectives. So you will still ensure that the direction will be stay. You will be not drifted. And the top part, it's about strategic projects. Again, we have a part on the left top corner when you link your strategic project. So we decide to define some strategic projects out of that, and we ensure that our strategic projects are giving us benefits to our objectives for 1 and 2 years. There are the fourth section. On the right side, there are metrics and KPIs, which we are not using. We are using KPIs, of course, it's really important, but we have written it in each project initiative, strategic project, but not written here. On the right side, we are using for ranking our projects. I will talk about it a little bit later. So, and we have a living standards. It's written, I will return back here. That's not the project for a short time, let's say, but that's the standards we have already several years. But without the standards, we see that it's not possible to achieve our goals. So keeping focus on that every month with the management and the progress on that standards. If we group that everything together, we will get out some strategic initiatives. For Trutnov, for this year, we have created 13 strategic initiatives. Some of them, a lot of them, came from last year. Some we closed last year because we found out that we achieved what we needed to have, so put it to the working level just. And this is high-level focused project on the plant level. So, and you can see employee is here for this people number one. We have some digitalization projects. So we have energy management and CO2 reduction or product design robustness. That's something what still giving some benefits to our strategy 2030, 2035. So first step, SWOT and some direction, strategy, visions and missions. In your case, it could be put to the hosting country metrics, and out of that, you will receive your strategic initiatives. But of course, that's just the planning, just first letter from PDCA cycle. The next one is do, execution, make something. A colleague of mine has a good sentence that if you want to start something, you have to have at least three things: method, people, and tool. For the method, it's our know-how about projects, about method we want to use, and to understand my favorite question, why? Why do we want to do that? What it brings to us, what are the principles behind that? For the people, for each strategic project, we have two key people. The first one is sponsor. In our case, it's somebody from first line management. So he has power to help, to push somebody or to make a decision. Very often it's really important. Somebody who can make a decision, not waiting, not losing time. And it's not about power. He has to be enthusiastic. So he can lead the people by example. That's the first. The second, very important, is the leader. We choose the leader for the project where the project is really linked to his job scope of the job, his work. And to be able to work on these projects, to be not just on the paper somewhere forgotten in the corner, he has to have a time. So that's really important to combine his work scope with the time we want to give him, and we want to allow him to work on the projects. And the tools, there has to be some routines. Routines which helps leader to achieve the targets, to be still motivated. And regular reviews between sponsor and leader. Mostly weekly, at least once a month, they have to meet and see the progress on the project. And then reviews, we have standard form for all strategic projects. I will show in next page. And all level of management are announced about that. They are informed about projects, and we inform about project also all employees. So when the leader then come to somebody and ask, hey, I need to please help me with this project, everybody know what it's about, and it's more able to help. This is the strategic project sheet we are used for all strategic projects, strategic initiatives. We have header on the top, information about project, sponsor, reader, review date, and so on. Then description of the project and team definition. Then current and target situation, including KPIs, basic or major implementation plan, and place when attention from management is needed for some escalation, it's right here, and some effect confirmation. So this is just the one example from our project, from the older one, and as you can see, it's filled with the dates, and we have also some issues we need to decide on the management on the quarterly review. So next step is behind us. We have strategy, plan, our visions, our projects, and we are also doing some working on the project every month. And leader standard work or some routines, every biweekly review by sponsor and project leader to review the progress. Next step, evaluation or C in PDCA cycle. Very, very important. How we evaluate our project. So monthly, we meet with the sponsor and leader. So concretely, I, as responsible for Lean, I plan every month a meeting with all leader and sponsor for each project separately, and we review the status. And on quarterly basis, we have a review with plan management. So once a quarter, we cancel management meeting and we put a review of strategic initiatives. And that brings some benefits because other managers, which are not the sponsor for the project, can make their comments, or they can express their pain in some project, maybe that it's not working on their area, and also push the project a little bit further with their new ideas. And for the review, we have this right side of Hoshin Kanri, where we mark and record the status of the project. How do we mark or rank the projects? So we review if the A3 is in good shape, created, there are objectives, there are team KPIs. Then we evaluate, check the evaluation of KPIs. Do we evaluate it regularly? Is it on track? And do we have an action defined? And then if we regularly review with sponsor. We have just two colors, green and red, nothing between. It helps us to decide the project is in good shape, or we are achieving the target, or we are sure that we will achieve it at the end of the year, or we have a problems and we need to mark it as a red to have big attention on that project. This is the status which we are doing quarterly in that phase, and in this case I'm doing that every month. So we have continuously evaluating. And now we are in the last phase, it's standardize. Because if you do not standardize, it won't fly and it won't work then. So yearly, as I mentioned, plan strategy workshop to update the direction. And we have this systematic approach since 2018. And what I'm proud of, that we change about just 20% of strategic projects or strategic focus. So that I see that we set the strategy right at the beginning and do not let us some wind and current drift away. So we are still aligning with our North Star to achieve our targets. So that's how we bridge our strategy and actions in Vitesco Technologies in Trutnov. You can find now the North Star in the picture shown with the arrow. And I wish you that you have a safe sailing always in the right direction. And now maybe we have some minutes for your questions, so please go ahead.
Thank you, Peter, for your presentation. And now we don't have any questions in our chat. We can wait a few minutes. We have 4 minutes till the session will be closed.
Oh, it's good sign because it seems that everything was clear.
Yeah, we have one question from Nick Bonafilia. How do you create executive need or urgency around using policy deployment methods?
When we need to escalate something, we have this regular, at least quarterly meetings, reviews of strategic initiatives. So if there is a red red ranking of the project several months in a row, that there's a time when we raise a hand during the strategic workshop and tell us, okay, sorry guys, we need to change something on that project because it's not running well. So we are using that opportunities.
Okay, thank you. I hope it was satisfying. And Isabella Miranda has a question. Could you explain more about lean standard work?
Leader standard work, yeah. The standard work, we know that's the regular work for operators on the line. But we have as well the leaders in our company, in almost every company. And we set some work which they have in their standards, which have to be done regularly. So leader standard work for example, shift leader is come to the work and check the previous shift, make some notes from his shift for change shift over, and also visit some meetings, report some results from the line, doing maybe some audits, LPA audit. So these are leader standard works for leader, and we have this leader standard work in production stream from the first level of leader up to the plant manager.
Thank you. We have a next question from Nicola Aguilar. Do you induct all your staff so they understand the strategy?
Yes, we have. That was one part of our how to increase the knowledge people about strategy. So we print out big posters on the corridors, and once a quarter, our plant manager has a talk to all people via Teams, and then it's recorded for the night shift, for example, where he explained as well the strategy and what we are doing that. So we try to share this information to all people as we can, because then they are more satisfied and they know the direction, they feel more safe. We see it's really important.
Okay, thank you. And we have probably the last question from Leah. Have you considered using software to manage your X metrics, or do you prefer using Excel?
I didn't consider to use some software for that, still in Excel, but good hint, I will check. Thank you.
Okay. Maybe the last question from Margarita Meya. Do you have daily or weekly huddles? Like, I think huddles mean sessions or something like, or meetings.
Regarding strategy, not. We have just monthly, and sponsor and leader has bi-weekly. Should have. It's not mandatory, but they usually have bi-weekly meetings regarding that.
Okay. Okay. The time is full. I hope you enjoyed, all of you enjoyed this meeting, this session. Thank you, Peter, for your presentation, and I hope we will see each other soon.
Yeah, I hope so. Thank you, Michal.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye all.